A couple of weeks ago, I helped out Al Fragoni at his open fire masterclass here in the UK at Pro Smoke Barbecue. You can watch the video of that here. And over the weekend, he cooked some incredible food. But one thing really stuck out to me, purely because of the simplicity of it, is the frog chicken. Sounds a little bit weird. It's kind of like a spatchcock, but slightly different. It's so delicious. It's quite different. It's really easy to prepare and cook. And he's done a video of this himself on his YouTube channel, and I'm sure many other people have. But I wanted to show you how I've been doing it over the last couple of weeks. So before we get into actually preparing the chicken, I'm gonna make a chimichurri butter. So I've got some softened butter here and put that into a bowl. Then we've got some of Al's chimichurri dry rub mix, and I'm gonna go in with plenty of that. This is actually a mix of the regular and the spicy one. I condensed them into this one pot. I really like the spicy one. Nice pinch of salt, mix this round and make a chimichurri butter. So once this is all mixed round, this can just hang out on the side. Do not put this back into the fridge. And then to prepare the frog chicken, I've got here a nice large high quality chicken from my local butchers, and we're going to break this down into the frog style, kind of like a spatchcock. But from me cooking this pretty much every week for the last couple of weeks, I really like the qualities that you get from cutting it and preparing it this way. I like the fact that the bones protect the meat, but I also like the way that it sits really nice and flat on the grill. So to prepare this, I'm going to cut down and I'm going to stay quite close to the leg, just down here. Push those legs out a little bit and then cut through. Then I'm just going to cut through some of these rib bones on both sides all the way to the end and open up this cavity. Then put it down and then just push. With the legs, I'm just going to break them and make them sit super flat. This is kind of up and you really need to in order for it to sit flat. Same with the wings. Break it at both joints, and there's the frog chicken. Kind of looks more like a frog when it's on its back. It's not the most appealing looking thing, if I'm honest. Anyway, I'm gonna cut the Pope's nose off, and that just allows us to get under this thigh pocket. So I'm gonna go in, pull the skin away from the meat. Exactly the same on the other side, and then exactly the same on the breasts. So from there, I'm gonna flip it over. Gonna hit this with some kosher salt. Flip it back over. So I'm firstly going to hit this side with a little bit of olive oil. That's going to help the crisping up of the skin, and it's also going to allow the salt to stick. Then we're going to take our softened butter, get it under the skin. And Al, I think, prefers to make a compound butter, or at least he did when we did the class a couple of weeks back. But the reason why I like to use this softened butter is that you can really squeeze it, push it right down under the leg and kind of manipulate it a little bit. You can feel it under there nice and soft, and you can squeeze it into place. Whereas with a cold compound butter, it's kind of just one big lump. So I like to squeeze this into every single corner. And the prep time on it is a lot quicker. You don't have to wait for the butter to soften first, then to refridge it. All you have to do is soften the butter. Push that all the way down to the tip of the breast. Gonna rub any of the excess over the chicken. And there we have our frog chicken. So as I say, this is really easy to prep, and I know a lot of people struggle with spatchcocking a chicken. Cutting through those thigh joints can be a little bit difficult for some people, particularly if you don't have poultry shears. So I think this is a much easier way to prep it, and you don't lose any of the meat from the backbone, including those delicious oyster mussels. But again, this is just a different way to prep a chicken to cook on the barbecue. And then in terms of cooking this, as I said, it's really easy to cook. It really is a hands-off cook, particularly the way I'm going to cook it. Obviously at the class, Al was cooking on an Argentinian style tagwood grill directly over some burnt down coals, but I don't have one of those, so I'm going to cook mine on the chub box. I'm going to light up a chimney of charcoal, chuck it in, throw the chicken on, and really it's just a hands-off cook from there. One of the great things about this is that you don't need to do anything with it. Just let it cook bone side down for the majority of the cook, flip it over to get some crispy skin, and cook it to the internal temperature that you want. So I'm going to get the chub box fired up. Charcoal's probably 75% of the way burnt down. Gonna go on bone side down. These bones are going to somewhat protect the meat inside. Fat's going to start to render, drip down onto these coals, produce some incredible direct heat flavor. And you know that I love the chub box for that slow, gentle cook. So this is probably going to be running at about 275 to 300 Fahrenheit on these temp gauges, but we're not really too worried about the exact temperature. So we'll shut this down, come back in maybe an hour. So we are bang on 1 hour, 15 minutes into this cook. Haven't added any more charcoal, and I don't think I'll need to. I'm not going to temp check this, but I'm pretty confident that this is going to be ready to flip just by the color of it. Skin started to dry out. I'm going to take it, flip it over. That's definitely why you call it a frog chicken. And I'm just going to move these coals around under here and just focus them more so on the thigh area than the breast. And now we're just going to cook here until the thighs read an internal temperature of about 190 and the breast ideally no higher than 160, but you know how it is. You can see in here a pocket of that butter, that chimi butter. Oh, it's going to be good. Shut this down and keep cooking. Total cook time of bang on 2 hours. We've just done the last 45 minutes, skin side down. So we'll flip it over and you can see, could be a little bit crispier, but I think I'm gonna call it. Just wanna get a spot check on these temperatures, obviously using my chef's temp final touch. So we're at about 190-ish in the thigh, and in the breast, about 160. A little bit over on the breast, but that's absolutely fine. So let's take this inside, let it cool down. I'll be honest, that looks absolutely ridiculous. Got some really nice crispy skin in places, and then it's a little bit less crispy than I'd like here, but I'm really hungry. And you can see under there, all those dark spots is where that chimi butter lived. I'm just gonna have to get in there. Oh, and as I said, these oysters are in here too, which is nice. As I say, it's not the most appealing thing in the world, is it? That thigh, still very, very hot. It's absolutely glistening with all that butter. Absolutely unreal. Let's take one of these breasts off and see how juicy it is. It might be a little bit overexposed. It is literally dripping with juice still. And you've got that chimichurri butter underneath. Most of that butter's just come out now, but it's clearly basted the chicken breast nicely. It's really nice and juicy. Given that that's a breast and it hasn't been brined, that is very good. Yeah, I wish I had crisped the skin up a little bit more, but it might have taken this breast a little bit over, so I'm happy with that. Thigh pretty much just fell off the bone. The breast is near on perfect. Managed to get these wings nice and crispy, which is good. Yeah, everything about this way of cooking a chicken I like. I like the fact that it's easy to prep. I also love the recipe with the chimi butter under the skin. I love the way the bones protect the meat. You don't lose the spine, so you can pick all the meat off it. As you saw, I was cooking on the chub box, kind of direct heat style. And although the breasts were a little bit over, they were still super juicy. The thighs, legs and wings were cooked well enough that they fell apart, but still super, super juicy. Cooking this style directly over the charcoal where the fat and the butter drip onto the coals and creates all this flavorful smoke is just great every single time. So yeah, as I say, I've been doing this pretty much every week for the last 3 weeks or so, and I'll continue to do it. It's not a gimmick or anything like that. People have been cooking this style of chicken for a long, long time. Pretty common in Argentina, apparently. Just this recipe in general, that chimichurri has a lot of garlic in it, has some chili flakes, parsley, just perfect with chicken. Highly recommend doing this. Thanks very much to Al Fragoni for this recipe. Go and watch his channel, subscribe to him, he's great. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Please like, comment, do all those things. It really, really, really does help me out. And I'll see you next week for another video.